When you have to do a Zoom call in front of a large room of, let's say, 50 people, there are some challenges. And today, I'm going to help you solve those challenges with some really crafty audio solutions. Because audio is the hardest part of a Zoom call that is more than just a simple Zoom call, meaning one-to-one. Even one-to-one, it's difficult. But a Zoom call one-to-many, that can get complicated. So today, I have my full kit. We're going to be using my Sound Devices 833 together with a Panasonic UX180 camera, some Wizzycom wireless equipment, a Senken CSM1, my MacBook laptop, going through Zoom, using a Blackmagic Video Assist, all the stuff. And I'm going to help you understand how it all hooks up, clicks together, and makes for a crystal clear Zoom call. So the core pieces of kit that I'm going to be using for audio is I have a set of Samson speakers, and these are going to be so that people in the room can hear themselves. And then this is my mixing bag, 833 by Sound Devices, Wizzycom MCR54 for wireless. And that's the core of this kit. So I'm going to set up each one of these Samsons on either side of this island. I'm going to wire them in from an output of here. And this is really only going to be getting the remote presenter coming out of these speakers. I'm going to also have a microphone on the presenter that's here with us. There's a facilitator that is going to lead the discussion from this location. So he'll have a mic. But that mic is not going to go through here because this room is not big enough to really necessitate putting him through these speakers. Plus, I'm going to be wearing a lav mic so that I can talk back and forth to the remote guest. And then I'm going to set up a CSM1 on a mic stand and point it out at the room to just pick up some room ambience. And then we're going to have a wireless mic, Wizzycom wireless mic, that we're going to use to pass around for questions. What you really want to do is make sure that the remote presenter who's going to be up there on that TV, you want to make sure that that remote presenter can hear what we're saying. It's really frustrating. These speakers are so that the room can hear what he's saying, because the room will get really frustrated if they can't hear. He will get really frustrated on the other end of the Zoom if he can't hear. So you see the problem here. He has to hear clearly us. We have to hear clearly him. Two different competing priorities. So you have to create two mixes for sure. Mix for the speakers, mix for Zoom. Hope that makes sense. So this is my workspace here. I am going to lay this out in such a way that I have probably my audio mixer first, then my laptop. Then this is a Blackmagic Video Assist. We're going to explain how I use this to make all this happen. It's a very critical piece of equipment to make this happen. So I'll have Blackmagic Video Assist, computer, audio, and then maybe a few miscellaneous things. So how do we get this going? Well, the Blackmagic Video Assist is really awesome because it has SDI in, which my camera has SDI out. It has XLR in. That's how I'm going to create the mix off of my mixer to get into Zoom, right? And then I'm going to take USB on the bottom here. This is how I'm going to get a combined video feed from my camera, audio feed from my mix, and I'm going to take it in over USB into the computer, run that through OBS and then as a virtual camera, and then run OBS into Zoom. OBS is so that I can do a recording in the background, and then Zoom is so that I can transmit everything. All right? And then out of my computer, I will have, out of the headphone jack, I will be taking the Zoom audio feed out into my mixer and sending that Zoom audio feed into the speakers. So that's the idea. Okay? I'm gonna get this speaker behind us because I want them on both sides. So I've got 3 main cases here. This is kind of a case that's got a bunch of miscellaneous things in it. Computer related hard drives, computer power, stuff like that. Then I've got my camera case, which actually has 2 cameras in it and some SDI. We're only going to be using one of these. I have a Panasonic UX180 and a Panasonic DVX200. And then I have my main work case that I use for my audio jobs. You've probably seen this if you've watched my videos before. I use this case a lot for my audio jobs. So we're going to pull the things out that we need. I need SDI, camera, lens shade, should be all I need out of there. Okay, so I got this over here. Then I need my converter cables that are going to take me from my mixer into the Blackmagic Video Assist. Blackmagic Video Assist takes these little mini XLR connections. So I need those. Then I need my snake. So this is a breakaway audio snake that's got stereo send. So I'll take this snake. It's got stereo on both sides, plus it has an 1/8 inch headphone return. So I'll plug this half into my mixer, and then I'll plug this side into the Video Assist, and then I'll have a return off the headphones on the Video Assist just to make sure everything is sounding good. So that's how that works. Then I need an XLR cable. This is just a standard XLR for my microphone. Get this all over here. So this is my Sanken CSM1. It's just a short, ultra compact shotgun mic. This microphone is extremely sensitive. It'll work perfect in this room because it's really sensitive. It's going to pick up kind of an amazing audio from this room. It's going to create a great room mic for those extra sounds that don't get caught on a lav or a handheld. So then in my audio case, I have this microphone, which is a Wizicom MTH610. Really awesome handheld wireless. This is what I will pass around the room for people to ask questions. Of course, I need my laptop power so I don't run out of power in the middle. Should be good on that. All right. I also have this standard mic stand. This is a K&M mic stand, just standard stuff. This is what I'll be mounting the CSM1 on. Then I've got a stage bug. This is a radial stage bug. This has got an 1/8 inch output. This is how I'm going to get the audio out of the computer and into the mixer. These are amazing. It is highly recommended that you get some sort of interface like this because a computer audio signal is hot. And these things make it the proper impedance and levels so that a computer can output a nice XLR balanced signal into a mixer. Then I've got my Flowtech tripod, which has a Miller head on it. And this is what I'm going to use to mount the camera somewhere back in that vicinity just so I can get a wide shot of the room. The camera is how our remote presenter is going to see the room, okay? I'm not going to use my laptop camera. I'm going to use a camera set on the tripod. I want it kind of high so that I can see over people in case they get up, which I don't think they're going to get up. But I want the tripod kind of high. And since I'm going to be standing back in this zone, I kind of need the camera to be close to me so that I can get to it if I need to do anything to it. I don't know if I'll need to do anything to it, but you never know. So maybe I'll put that right there. Okay, get the tripod plate onto the camera. Always carry a Leatherman if you can. Highly recommend always carrying a Leatherman. Just do it. If you're in freelance production, don't be the guy that wishes, or the gal, that wishes they didn't have a Leatherman. Just have one, okay? And it doesn't have to be Leatherman. There's lots of other brands that are a lot cheaper, but just get one. This is one of the most versatile pieces of equipment that I have. Okay? I will be recording on the camera just as a backup. It's not my primary, but I will be recording on the camera just as a secondary backup, okay? I'm gonna get that set there for now. All right, now I'm gonna set up the order of business on this table. So on this table, I'll take my audio mixer right here. I'll take my computer right here with the stage bug to come out. Then I'm going to have the Blackmagic Video Assist on this small Manfrotto tripod. Just chilling right here. And then this set, that snake is going to reach from my bag over to the Video Assist. And then this cable is going to go from the microphone to my bag. This SDI cable is going to go from camera over to the Video Assist. And I've got power routed. I'm going to plug into this power bank right behind me. If you don't use these Furman power conditioners, you really should. They're amazing, okay? They're simply amazing. I'm going to run my Blackmagic Video Assist off of power because you really want to avoid batteries if you can. I know sometimes batteries are a thing for convenience, but in this situation, I don't want to have to worry about this. So I'm going to plug Video Assist into power, plug my laptop into power. Okay, so I got the speakers plugged in, got my microphone. I have an adapter that I'm going to use to get it onto this mic stand. So this is my short shotgun mic, CSM1. I'm going to mount it up kind of high and pointing down at like a 45-ish, I don't know, something like that. Raise it up, tuck it back in here. And then you can see here that I have my camera. This is positioned about where I want it. I'll make maybe final positioning decision once people get in the room. But this is probably exactly where I'm going to want it. Again, just a wide shot, a wide cover. Nothing complicated, okay? Okay, so fire up the mixer, position my wireless antennas, fire up my wireless. I'm going to be deploying one Wizicom MTP61 for facilitator, and then I already have one on, so that's going to be for me. So that's good. I need to hook in this snake out of the outputs of the mixer. So I'm going to come over to this side of the mixer, the right side, which is the output side. And I've got my main outputs already wired up here. Yeah, main output's wired up here. And then I'm going to take this into the camera return, which is just an 1/8 inch on the side here of my mixer. Okay. I'm going to come onto this side of the Video Assist, and I'm going to plug in 2 mini XLRs into the inputs. Okay. So that is getting me audio from the bag to here. Okay. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to do channel 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 2 to 2. Then I'm going to take the headphone side of this snake and I'm going to plug it into the headphones of the Video Assist, which is on the right side here. So that will send what this is receiving back into my mixer so I can monitor it. So this stage bug is getting plugged into the headphone out of my laptop. All right, cool. And then it's getting plugged in to one of the inputs on my mixer. I'm gonna pick input number 1 because it's probably the most important input, right? So plug that in. Okay, so now I've got that wired up. The only other wiring I need to do is get SDI off the camera. So the SDI port's on this side. Take SDI out. And then I need to take SDI into Blackmagic. So when I power up the Blackmagic, I should see the camera as long as I have set this to be SDI, which I believe it was last set to HDMI. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to change that to SDI. I can see the camera, so that's good. It's a good thing, okay? So I'm sending left and right tone, which is indent and tone, which should show up left pulsing and right constant. You can see it's not showing up on these meters yet. I need to go into the audio settings and change the XLR inputs to be coming to channel 1 and 2. So you can see now I have signal. I'm going to actually go over and change, don't need the pad, and I need line level. So line level is what I need. Probably right there, because I want this tone to be hitting right at -20, okay? So that is set to go. So now if I go back to my main screen, you can see I've got left and right tone. Left is pulsing, right is not. So that's good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test the output of my computer into the mixer. Just got some stock music here. Don't need to get a copyright strike. See if this is coming in. Set it up on input 1. Yep, I got some music coming in. That's good. Okay. Then I have it coming in here to the Blackmagic. Now I need to see if I can get it going out to these speakers. I'm going to run off of my X1 and X2 outputs for the speakers. X1 and X2 are these guys. If you haven't seen my mixer before, I do like to have these jumpers in line so that it's easy to get to the ins and outs. I use Cable Techniques jumpers. I'm a huge fan of Gotham Sound, and Gotham Sound gives you these jumpers for free when you order stuff. Not everything is free, but they'll give you a certain amount of free depending on what you buy. So when I bought my mixer, they gave me some free cables, and it's great. Great reason to use Gotham Sound. But I tap little short extensions onto all the ins and all the outs so that I'm not bag diving as much as normal, okay? Now, make sure I have this turned all the way down. grab the appropriate connectors for these speakers, which these speakers take a 1/4 inch input. Okay. 1/4 inch line level input. So I'm going to plug that together. Hopefully I don't blow it. Okay, good. Okay, I have music at a good level that is probably going out the X1 and X2, but I'm going to make sure that it is. Go to my outputs, X1, make sure it's receiving. For now, I'm going to make sure it's receiving left and right. I'm going to change that, but right now I'm going to have it be receiving left and right. I'm going to change it in a little bit just to be the isolated zoom feed, but for now, it'll be left and right. Okay? So then I'm going to turn this speaker on. That seems to be working. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this microphone into the mixer. I've run an XLR cable over to it. Take this into input 2. This microphone will need phantom power. So if I go to channel 2, I'm going to say that this needs phantom power. So I go there, I come over to mic line input, set it to be mic with phantom power. It's feeding back because I don't need it to go out the speakers. But you can see that I have it. I need to change some of my channel names because I do. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scan wireless. I need 3 channels of wireless. So let's scan that. We're going to scan in the 900s because that's where I think I need to be. I need to be in the 900s. So we will go up to the 900s and we will just do a scan. Okay, it is super, super clean in the 900s. Super clean. That's good. Because I will need to get my wireless handheld plus the WYSICOMP, the 2 MTP61s fired up and going into the mixer. So in total, I'm going to have 5 channels. Zoom, room mic, WYSICOM transmitter 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be lav pack 1, lav pack 2, and handheld pack or handheld 1. Okay?
I'm not
here. He's here. I'm going to talk to him before I get him up there.
Yeah, I think he's originally from Australia, but he's in California.
Ray, can you hear me?
So
I think I can.
Okay. So, all right.
can you hear me?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a little crackly.
He can't hear David yet. Here. Can you hear David? Check, check.
No,
Ray,
I
can you hear me?
you.
David?
I can hear you, but I can't hear David.
Okay. David, go ahead and talk.
Okay. Do we have him on? Has he logged in so we can put him on the screen?
I will. Yes, hold on.
All right. I haven't seen him in about 20 years, so
I need to get him. I need to pin him.
I bet you he's aged better than I have.
Okay, hold on. Pinning him. All right, so.
So Ray, I know you don't have a lot of time. We're
So what are you trying to say? I'm old and I'm dying?
no faster than I am, I think. But then,
Everything was created by nothing. That's worse than insane. So what I do is say to an atheist, do you really believe that nothing created everything? And they'll say, well, there's probably something in the beginning. And then I say, can you be honest with me? And they say, oh, yeah. So this isn't really about God, is it?
so you're basically saying keep the main thing the main thing. Keep it focused on the
Yes.
law.
Yes.
How often do you get to follow up with people that you talk to? I mean, do you take their information, get them connected to a church, or I mean, where do you go from the street to sharing your faith? What's the next step for you?
Yeah, well, I'm as passionate as I was when I first became a Christian 53 years ago. It's not a boast because I've been married to my wife for 110 years, 55 years each. 55 years each, and I'm just as passionate about it today as when I married her. And the compliment is to her, not to me. And my compliment is to the Lord when I'm saying I'm passionate about him as I was when I first came to Christ.
Amen. Absolutely.
Speaking of wives, I better go.
Okay. Hey, Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a long time since I've seen you, so thank you for taking time out for our small church. I appreciate it more than you know.
It's been a blessing. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.
I want to go through the routing that I needed to set up for this job. So if you look at bus 3 and 4 here, they're linked and they were set to only get channel 1. Channel 1 was the Zoom feed coming in from remote. So I set this bus up that's going to the room to only get that microphone. And I linked them together so it was a little easier. And then if I look at bus 1 and 2, this one is what I was mixing for the remote guest, sending back down the line. So I had channels 2, 3, 4, and 5 going into that bus. And if you notice, they're orange, so they're all set up to be post-fade, which means that when I'm not sending it to him unless I have my faders turned up, okay? So this is basically allowing me to create a completely custom mix down this set of buses, okay? And then I had, if you go back to bus 3 and 4, you can see that I know you might not be able to see that, but it's green. I had channel 1 pre-fade going to this bus. So it's just isolated going to this bus. I did not have to turn it up in the mix. In fact, if I did turn it up in the mix, that would have been a problem. So I just made sure that this bus is pre-fade coming in. And then what I did with those buses is I routed those buses to the outputs. So if you go to the output section of this, I had my main left and right outs going back to Zoom. Okay, so I had the left channel of that set of outputs taking bus 1. And then I had, if I go back to outputs, I had my right channel picking up channel or bus 2. Okay, so that was giving me 2 really strong feeds coming down the pike. Then, if you look at the outputs that I had for 1 and 2, you can see that I'm taking bus 3 for 1 and bus 4 for 2. So what's going down the line as I'm mixing this is a really nice mix that I can hear. And then with the 833, you can listen to different headphone mixes really easily. See how I'm rotating through there and it's saying left and right stereo, left and right mono, left mono, right mono, left, right, mid, side, bus 1 and 2 with comms, PFL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can rotate through, and you're looking right here, you can rotate through the mixes and buses and stuff, which I really, really like about this mixer. So I was just listening to bus 1 and 2 the whole time and mixing like normal. So it just sounded like I was mixing to the left and right, but I mean, I was mixing to a bus, okay? And then I had a set of XLR outputs on the side of my bag going over to the Zoom world, which was going through the Blackmagic Video Assist. And then I had another set of outputs going to the 2 powered monitors. that I had that was feeding the room. And it worked out really well. The way that you route these channels I really like about the 833 is that you can select basically a lot of options here on these channels. So I set my channel 1 to be line level in coming from the computer. Then on channel 2, I'm just going to go to channel 2. That was channel 2 coming in mic with phantom power because that was the room mic. That was the CSM one that was in the room. I was just picking up room noise. And then the XL AES input 1 coming from my Wizzycom transmitter. That was one of the facilitator's mics. Then if I go to channel 4, you can see that I was coming in on XL AES2. That was me, and that's what you're listening to right now. And then on channel 5, that's XL AES 3, and that was what my Wizzycom wireless handheld was coming through. So overall, I think it worked out. A lot of complex setup and routing in the 833. I hope it made sense. I hope you picked up a couple things. Mix minus is kind of a mind meld a little bit. It's like, all right, what do I got to do? Well, you just got to focus on not giving people themselves back. So in any scenario where you need to do mix minus, it's just like, don't give the person back to themselves. That's all it is. So in this case, it was don't send him back down his Zoom line. In the case of someone with an earpiece in their ear when I'm doing like sports or broadcasting, it's just not sending themselves back to their ear. Because it's really, really hard. If you've ever tried it, it's hard to do, to speak while you're listening to yourself. It's a weird mind meld. Okay? So thanks for watching. Feel free, as always, to come down into the comments and ask any questions you have about anything. I'm really enjoying making this content for YouTube and love everybody who's been watching and commenting and encouraging. Keep at it. Keep going on your freelance journey. Keep moving. Keep being positive. Keep being the best you can be with every opportunity that you get. And do not be afraid to share your story. Okay? I recently made a video talking about my whole kit that I use to produce these videos, and I just can't stress enough how fulfilling it can be to make content about things you're doing, right? I had been following the itch to make YouTube content for a long time, said no for probably 5 or 6 years. I argued with myself. When I finally did it, it's been one of the highlights of my professional life to just share behind the scenes. That's my heart. Share and mentor through video, if that's even possible. If I can even mentor through video, I don't know how that's possible, but maybe it is. And I appreciate everybody, and we will see you in the next one.